Okay, I really hope I'm in focus and the lighting doesn't bother you. I usually don't use a ton of artificial lighting, but now that it's getting darker faster, I think I'm gonna have to be using these lights. So I hope it's okay. You let me know in the comments if it's fine. I'm really excited about this one. I know I say this for like every single restyling video, but I just truly love personal style and looking at designer stuff and celebrity and all of that. Today we are gonna be styling Taylor Swift. For any Swifties that are new to my channel, hi, thanks for being here. I'm Amy Serrano, yes, like a pepper, and I like to do these restyling videos. I've done one on Camila Cabello, Addison Rae, Margot Robbie, and prior to doing the restyling series, I actually used to do kind of the same notion. They were like called red carpet reviews. I would kind of go through all of the guests on the red carpet for a particular award show or event. If I didn't like what they wore, I would offer suggestions of what I would have loved to see them in or what I think would work better. So that's kind of where this restyling thing kind of came about. And I know I have restyled her before on one of those like red carpet reviews. I've never truly been a fan. Don't come for me, Swifties. I now have so much respect for her after doing all my research to restyle her for this video. But yeah, I just found it kind of like, wow, I almost feel like she played it super safe in the wardrobe aspect. But I did come across Modern Girls, who I'm subscribed to. I absolutely love her videos. I think she's so great. If you guys haven't watched any videos from Modern Girls, I would highly recommend, especially if you're a lover of fashion. She does a whole Taylor Swift style evolution. So I don't want to touch too much on her like past style, but I just wanted to point out, if you do go and watch her video, you can see how each album really represents the era of her fashion. And that is what I mean, where it can be like a visual representation of the album, of your vibe at that moment. Obviously you evolve, but it's really, really easy to spot, okay, this album was like Reputation. She was a little bit more like badass. Where I feel like the stuff that I had been seeing more recently, like it just felt very safe and very boring. And again, I feel like Taylor's very, very smart. So I don't know if these things are intentional. It would be naive for me to think that her clothing options were an afterthought, but also like when you're that skilled in something, maybe those doesn't really mean anything to you. I don't know, but I wish she can be with a stylist that is as cryptic and as researched and as referenced as she is for her wardrobe. I just wanted to kind of talk about this with you because maybe you guys as like Taylor Swift fans have more insight for me. Like, is it an afterthought? Is there like Easter eggs in her wardrobe at all? I couldn't really correlate anything other than what Modern Girls had already pointed out in her video, where each album had that corresponding style. Anyways, you can tell this is gonna be probably a lengthy video, so grab yourself a little drink. And my PowerPoint per usual. We're gonna get into some of her past outfits to kind of get a sense of what she's already giving, what she has served, good or bad. And then we'll get into my mood board and what I feel like I would want this new era of Taylor Swift to be. And also we will finish off with all of the outfits that I have pulled from like recent collections from the runway that I can definitely see her in. So let's go ahead and start. I think her beginning, like when she first started out, her first album, I think her stylist actually was very intentional, and I feel like they really worked with their means. Like obviously when you're first starting out as an artist, not a lot of people are going to want to lend to you. Like I'm saying, designers or showrooms, they're not going to really lend you a ton of clothes. And on top of it, your budget usually isn't the biggest. So you kind of have to like work with what you have. And I think they did a really good job. They made her really relatable. Like it looked like she can just shop at like Charlotte Russe. Country girl, simple, but then for the red carpet stuff, she would do something very prom-y, like very princess-like these gowns. Like she looked like a literal country princess. I have some more here that I just didn't really love, or like I'm just like, okay. Like there's some outfits that where I felt like the clothes was wearing her. Like she wasn't dominating in it, and I feel like a lot of the times it's because you don't feel yourself in it. These two, I think was this not the time where the Kanye West thing? I thought she looked so stunning. I absolutely love this gown. And then this fuchsia and red, so pretty, like show-stopping. Like I remember when she came out and I was like, oh my god, yes. The bob, like everything was just really chic. So these are some other silhouettes that I really love on her. I mean, she's so tall, honestly, you guys. Like she has like a model-esque body. So I feel like she really can pull off any silhouette. And contrary, like with me, that I'm so petite, like I need to take into consideration a lot of lengths and, you know, not being too overwhelmed because I'm so small. Like, she literally can wear so much just right off the rack. I really favor Taylor in these really soft, ethereal, kind of romantic silhouettes and fabrics. I think she looks really, really stunning in these. These are other times where I thought she looked really great. Felt like an extension of her rather than the dress wearing her, or like feeling too costumey, if that makes sense. She's been wearing lately since promoting like All Too Well, or like just kind of more recent things that I've seen her in. I feel like she's moving into this more like the sophisticate, if you will, like very structured, which I love, but honestly I'm not crazy about it on her necessarily. I feel like she can have touches of it, but I hope that this isn't like fully what the style is, because I feel like it is a little plain still. But for this next era of Taylor, and I really wish I had more insight to her music, because I would really try to find pieces that can kind of help reference her music, or, you know, just have it be a little bit more cryptic. I just really wanted to get this video out already. So I would love outfits that mirrored her genius. So I would love to kind of like pair her with a stylist that is down to do the research and really gain that insight, because I think that would be really fun, and I think that's like such a part of her whole brand and her relationship with her fans. So I mean, you could have so much freaking fun with fashion in this sense. So let me just go ahead and show you the mood board so you get a visual sense of what I'm talking about. Oh my god, all these lights. When I was pulling out like references and things that I can put on this mood board, I really just kept thinking like Ralph Lauren, because I feel like their brand identity, like the meat of it is romantic and then also like very outdoorsy Americana. So I feel like that is like Taylor Swift, but I would still say that she can still have that like sophisticated, glossy, kind of structured vibe that she's recently dipping into, because I really like that for her as well. I think it suits her really well. It makes things really modern, but I would like to kind of juxtapose it with this like cottage core that I feel like she also had already tapped into with the Folklore album. Look at me, oh my god, am I a Swiftie now? I also feel like Julia Roberts can be like a nice little referencing point to have on a mood board for her style. I really love this photo in particular. Like you can see the cowboy boots, but it just feels a little bit more grown up. Obviously this is from the 90s and I just really love the simplicity of it. I also feel like the visual artist Petra Collins, I would love to see this kind of weirdness mixed into Taylor Swift style. If you look at her photography, it's kind of weird, it's a little obscure, it's kind of vintage, kind of faded. I would really like to see this like obscurity kind of like woven into it, because I do feel like there's some strangeness to Taylor Swift. I think she always felt kind of like an outsider, and I think that's cool to really celebrate that like weird, you know, kid that she's always kind of had inside of her. And just very natural, even in the sense of the word natural, like being nature, like cottagecore, this like great outdoors, still that hint of the Western wear. So yeah, I'm kind of like all over the place, but I feel like all mixed together it would really just define Taylor. And I feel like I'm kind of taking through the eras. And I also have this woman with like this natural kind of hair, so I will get into that in the hair and makeup portion, because you know we got to give the full look. You know how I am, I just like can't. My mind just doesn't allow me to do the bare minimum. So here we go into hair and makeup. I really love minimal makeup for her. And I love the red lips. I think she should keep doing that. It's like kind of her signature and she wears it very well. But I would also like to see more of this like very bare face, like almost like French girl. I pulled this screenshot from her Miss Americana, I believe it was called, the documentary that I watched, just to kind of dive into her mind a little bit more. Oh yeah, and look, this, it says it here, and it's about a girl who's just different. That's what I'm saying, like that differentness can be interwoven into her fashions. So I really love her hair here too. I know she's just like very young, but just that like parted down the middle. I would have her grow out her bangs. I would even add extensions. I just really love this kind of like softness. This is a photo of Sofia Coppola. It just feels very fresh and obviously like very undone. Like that's the hair and makeup vibe that I would like for Taylor Swift. Just undone. I feel like she would appreciate it, and I think she would look really, really stunning in this kind of vibe. I also have Matilda Durf here, and I know she like pops off on Pinterest for her hair. So I also wouldn't mind, like, you know, obviously because I want her to grow out, because I want Taylor to grow out her bangs, she would kind of have this growing out period. And I think like the way that Matilda's hair is in these photos would work really, really well for her. But eventually I just feel like this more minimal, undone, almost natural. I know her hair is naturally like very curly, so I also have these references for her. So I like this kind of like S-wave, and if she did kind of get extensions, like maybe I would like it to stop around here, like kind of near her rib, just like a blunt S-wave, and then even kind of like back combing it and brushing it just so it looks a little bit fuzzy and not so like not so wet and like Kardashian, but more like fuzzy, natural, like I've been in the great outdoors. So kind of like this woman here who's like standing naked in a lake. And then I really like this girl, Margot. She could be a really nice reference for her hair and makeup. I feel like Tyra Banks, when I do the hair and makeup, I'm like, this hair, and I think this for you. And I think for like an editorial or even for like red carpet, I think it'd be really cool if she did one where she like bleached her eyebrows. Like this girl here. It would look so freaking cool. Dips into the weirdness of like the Petra Collins that I'm saying. Okay, so now let's move on to the looks that I have pulled for her. I have so many slides, you guys. That's why I said to buckle up. And this time I'm gonna actually move from like a little bit more of like casual, not so formal, and move into very formal red carpet looks. So this first slide, we have Loewe. I always used to say low, and I'm such a disgrace to the fashion world. I really love this one. This is like what I'm talking about with like this kind of vintage, like Petra Collins color palette. Like it feels a little bit faded in a sense. And the design is very minimal. Another one that's like a little bit strange, of like celery juice color. I believe she has worn some Alexander Vautier, but I would love to see her in this. It kind of has like that structure that I was talking about, but it still has that romanticism in it just because it's like the rouging. It has that like slip kind of vibe to it, so it just reminds me of like something very romantic, and even like, you know, down to like the tying of the bow. I really love these boots as well. I almost feel Western, so I would love to see her in that. This would be a dope one for her eyebrows to be bleached, actually, with her like longer blonde hair just kind of like tucked like this, like just effortless. I feel like it would look so cool on her. I would love that. I really love a lot of like oversized cardigans and oversized knits for her. I feel like this plays into like the cottage core, and I have just seen her in her day-to-day, like the paparazzi shots, like just oversized sweaters. Obviously you're just running around in Brooklyn or whatever. Stella McCartney, I feel like, is so aligned with her. Just very female, empowering. I would like to see her wear more Stella McCartney. I've always thought this. I think I even said that in one of my videos like years ago. Just, I don't know, her and Stella it just makes sense to me. So I would like to see her in this. Again, it has like this kind of weirdness that I'm talking about. Like it's not just a basic. I think the color is really fun for her. Look at this girl again with her bleached brows. I also love these cargos. I feel like I can definitely see her bopping around in New York. Again, oh yeah, I did a lot of Stella McCartney. This is what I'm saying, like her and Stella McCartney would be so good. Oh, another little thing that I forgot to say with like the knits, it just gives me like not only like that cottage core vibe, but also just kind of like fuzzy. Like obviously she's really known for her cats. When I think of like a cat lady, I think of this outfit, actually, this Stella McCartney, and I think she would really rock it. Like it's weird, but for some reason I can see Taylor Swift in this. this. Right now, I feel like cottagecore is kind of getting elevated for winter anyways, and we're going to be talking about winter trends tomorrow. I hope I can get this video up. The winter trend is very outdoorsy, a lot of like utilitarian kind of jackets, you know, Patagonia, those kind of brands generally made for the outdoors. It's becoming very on trend. So I really love this jacket from Stella McCartney. It looks like you just got out of like upstate New York, but then it's paired with these like feminine as trousers. I love these trousers so much. It looks like a sherbet dream, and she would look so freaking cute down to the little sophisticated shoes. I feel like she wouldn't shy away from this kind of shoe either. I feel like she actually quite likes it, just because she did do a lot of like that 40s 50s kind of style for a bit. I always call them like cutesy shoes. Like I feel like that's kind of her vibe. This last look again would be such a dream. I really love all of the rouging. It's a fun way, especially because she is so tall. These tights would actually look really dope on her long ass legs, and it still feels like sexy. I'm going to be using the same synonyms again and again and again. Marine Serre is another one that is very weird, a little out there, but I feel like Taylor could totally pull off. She actually wore this one dress that I really liked on her. It was like all of these like three-dimensional flowers. I feel like she can carry off, like there's some people that can't pull off anything like too bulky. Like I feel like I couldn't, just because I am so petite, it overwhelms me. But because she's so tall, I think she's like 5'10" or something, I feel like she should take advantage of her height, and like she would kill it in this. I love everything about this first Marine Serre look, minus maybe the tights for her. I would like maybe take off and put with, she loves like an over the knee boot, so maybe something like that where it almost feels like it connects, like you can't see any skin in between, like just like a long like leather kind of boot would be dope. And again with like her hair just parted down, very minimal. You guys let me know what you think. I love these blue marine boots from the spring summer 2021 collection. There's a bunch of different colors. I just feel like she definitely needs them in her life, performance, for red carpet, for even if she's gonna be wearing like these little blazer dresses or, you know, very like structured kind of things. Like I feel like just adding that will just help elevate those more simple, sophisticated looks and add a little bit more funk, add a little bit more personality, add a little bit more of her like playful vibe. I feel like sometimes like she's dressed a little bit too seriously. The Attico is another one that I would love to see her in. I really would like to see this for performance, and even if you like stoned green tights and shoes, like just rhinestone those all the way through, and like I love the hat with it. Like I just think it's really, really cool, and it gives those like, you know, sleek kind of shapes that she likes, but it just makes it a little bit more fun, a little bit more elevated. And I love this coat. Like she needs this fuzzy for bopping around New York. Vivienne Westwood is another one I know she would absolutely murder in. I like this little open top with the jeans. Even though it's so simple, it just feels a little more edgy to me. I do love the plaid moment that she wore earlier this year. These are other plaid moments that I would like to see her in. This look from Knowles would be so perfect. And with the blonde hair, like an S-wave blonde hair with this brown color. Like already taking my breath away. I would also love to see her in this plaid moment. I can't remember who the designer here was. I want to say it's Vivienne Westwood. What are those, like little seahorses on there? How cute. My leg is already falling asleep, so I know this video is already so long. But Taylor also really strikes me as a Prada girl. I don't know if she's ever worn Prada. Maybe, I'm sure in her long career she maybe has. But I really like these simple looks for her. I feel like they're not trying too hard. I really like this like cozy cardigan. It feels very effortless, extremely, extremely effortless. Nusha is like the queen of like this mix of ugly and beautiful, and she just makes it work. And I feel like that can be this like new era for Taylor. I love this leather jacket too. It's so freaking good. Like if her stylist or somebody like a shopper can just go into a vintage store and pull some like delicious freaking vintage, like these kind of pieces, like this, like a nice leather jacket, like some cool designer gems from the 90s, from early 2000 even, and from the 70s, I feel like she would murder it in the personal style. It's just, you know, you need to go and get that stuff. Okay, so now we're moving into some suitings. It's gonna get a little bit more formal. That's all of like my more casual fits. She obviously appreciates a suit, as do I. I think everybody looks so freaking chic in a suit, and I really love like monochromatic suits. I mean, I think she wears it very, very well. I would like to see her in some like oversized vibes. Like again, Stella McCartney. I love this, and I love this color for Taylor as well. I think it would like really complement her coloring, her eyes, her hair, her skin tone. And I like all of these like little cutouts underneath. I also really like this Greta Constantine. I like that it's like all white. The pants are like a little bit more exaggerated, and that gold at the bottom. Maybe this is one where she bleaches her eyebrows and it just like all comes together. Like if she were to do this and do like a high ponytail and like a red lipstick or something, it would just feel like very holiday, very like been there, done that, I've seen it. This Giambattista Valli, I feel like she would really like this. It's like not my favorite because I feel like it's something that she has done maybe. I don't know, I just feel like I've seen her in something similar, so it's not so far removed from what she usually does. But I mean, I know she would rock this. I mean, I could keep going on and on about this, just like very effortless, you know, nothing to the hair, almost like you just brushed it out. Alessandra Rich. There's usually so much from Alessandra Rich that I love, and I can see her in these like kind of wallpaper florals. Again, it feels very like Petra Collins to me, like these faded scenes, a little weird. It feels very 70s actually. I feel like she would look really good in that. A little almost Western wear at the same time. It kind of hits all the vibes that I like, and I know she does appreciate a set, so that could be nice for her. I can definitely see her in that. This Risa Vanessa Spring 2022, I don't know, I pulled this and I mean I can see her in it for sure. It's definitely not in line with like my initial mood board, but it's a piece that I can see her wearing, especially if she does go in a more like 70s direction. Very fun, like Kids' Choice Awards or something. And this designer, oof, I don't know how to say it. I don't know because it's on Instagram, so I don't know if there's like spaces in between that, but this designer right here is so good. Oh my god, I could see myself in a lot of these outfits. It's like very cool, structured, cut out. She definitely needs those yellow boots in her line. I love this like red suiting, this whole feminine. I need it. I mean, I would wear that in a heartbeat. Like that would be like my holiday look. So good. And then this Yuhan Wang, I really love as well. It's so pretty. You know, actually, who would look really, really good in this is her little protege. Her, what's her name? Olivia Rodrigo. She would look so cute in it. I would also really love to see her in this Emilio Pucci for like a red carpet. And this, I feel like would go really well with her bangs right now. I love these colors. It's so dreamy. And then just like pairing it with heels for a red carpet. I really hope this lighting is okay, y'all. Yes, so this Valentino. Taylor, we gotta see you in it, babe. I think it looks so stunning. It's just so romantic, and I think she looks really, really good in this material. Obviously, she can kill it in any silhouette, but I think this one would really work for her as well. Okay, so these are the Ralph Lauren dresses from I thought they were from the 90s. They're from 2005. My bad. But they are so breathtaking. I think she does that like old Hollywood glamour really, really well. So this is that. This is giving you all of the glamour in the world in such a simplistic way. It would look so good in this. I especially love this one, 2003. She would look so good in that as well. And then another designer that's current, that's kind of giving me a little bit of those vibes, but definitely more structured, more sexy, is Mono. This one right here, and you guys might have seen Miss Kendall Jenner wearing that one dress that everybody like freaking bashed her for wearing it to a wedding. Scorpio Behavior. This one would look so beautiful on Taylor. It has that like kind of old Hollywood glam silhouette, but obviously a much sexier, more modern. It would look really beautiful on her. I would love to see her in that. I feel like she could wear that like tomorrow. So these are like going into way more red carpet feels, like very dressy. this Zuhair Murad fall 2021 couture gown. I feel like it has like elements of old Taylor style. I know she loves like a gold glitzy gown, and this one just feels so ethereal, so stunning. How would they do her hair? I don't know, I guess it's something that they can explore, but I would love to see this dress on her. And then I love this one, totally giving me like my mood board, by this Chinese designer Ming Ma. So this is like from the Shanghai spring 2022. I love an exaggerated puff sleeve, and I just love the way that this pairs with this sequin skirt, and you can see the legs underneath. And then I also put this like little photo of a really relaxed, like undone ponytail. Like it literally just has like the slightest bend at the bang, like looks like it's just done with like a straightener, like very effortlessly, and then just pinned back and like a little bit, you know, messy. I think that hairstyle with that dress would look so good on her. Even with the red lip, I love, like with her blonde hair, red lip, like everything. I think it would look so cool. For what red carpet? I do not know, but I would love to see her in it. This is our closing slide, and I just wanted to really take it there for like red carpet. Oh no, actually I have 2 more slides, but anyways. I know she would love this like red Versace. She actually wears a lot of Versace, I noticed. So maybe they can lend her this dress. It's very structured. It definitely deviates away from my personal mood board for her, for like the style I kind of want her in. But there are just moments, like I feel like when you've reached Taylor's level of success and her longevity in music and like in the business, she's already played with so many different looks. She doesn't really necessarily have to stick to one style because she's already known. You know what I mean? How I was trying to do for like Addison Rae, like she needs to kind of hone in on one signature style. Like Taylor has already navigated a bunch of different signature styles. She's, you know, she's had her little trajectory in the style world. So I feel like these little unexpected moments that deviate from my own personal mood board is totally fine. I love this Versace gown for her. I think she would look so sexy. I like that it looks a little bit space cadet. It's beautiful, and I think it makes sense for her whole red situation that she loves doing. Christian Siriano, the pre-fall 2022 actually surprised me, okay? I'm like a closet Christian Siriano fan. I've watched him since he was like on Project Runway, and people, like a lot of people in the fashion industry, like don't take him super seriously. So anyways, I have like a little crush on Christian Siriano, and his pre-fall collection, oh my gosh, there's so many things in there that I would personally wear, and I would love to see her in this gown. I think it would be show-stopping. It's so glam. It's like the epitome of glamour. Again, you can go, it could be a hit or miss on the hair and makeup, so they better get it together for this dress. But I would love to see her in that. I know she would like look really beautiful in it. Dior is another brand that I feel like can very much align with her. I think she would look really, really good in them because she does a lot of like the netting and like, you know, very see-through kind of skirts. I did find these 3 gowns from the fall 2021 couture collection. This first one that's like all this foliage, it can go one or 2 ways. It can be really, really bad, or it can be breathtaking. I would like to see what the gown looks like without the veil, because I can't really tell what's going on here. Enchanting goddess nature, and it still feels very chic to me. So I would like to see what that looked like without the veil. I don't know if she could pull off the veil. I also love this one. It looks like full netting, little sparkle moments through the netting. I actually really love this dress, and I haven't been like obsessed with Dior in a few years, but this dress is really pretty to me for Taylor. And then I also really love this one. This is another one that I'm like, this is on that, like I just want to try it to see like what it's gonna do, like how you're gonna feel. If I was her stylist, I would love to have my hands on that for her, just to see, because again, it is that like very ethereal, but it has like a very minimal kind of almost 90s design quality to it. It does feel a little bit naked. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure how she would feel, but definitely a risk taker that I would be willing to try for Miss Taylor Swift. Also, the Atelier Versace Fall Winter 2021. There is this like pink dress that feels very old Taylor. Feels like a new version of the old Taylor. Taylor's version of the old Taylor. I don't know. I like that one for her. And again, this is another one that I would like to see on her. I know she has done some of these very satin, voluminous kind of dresses. See, this model is like kind of moving weird, so I can't really see the full silhouette, just like standing straight. But it's one that I would like to see her in just because of like the colors, and just feels very different and fun. Okay, Swifties, you gotta let me know in the comments. You can eat me up. I'm sensitive and I can handle it. Let me know what you think. If you have any other insight, I'm just like really intrigued by Taylor now. Like I said, I never really gave her a chance. I just, you know, I bopped around to her music on the radio and stuff, but I never understood the genius behind her lyrics and the way that, you know, her her method to how she creates her music videos and the lyrics and like the little album stuff, these Easter eggs. Like, I didn't know all of that until literally this month, or November. I found that very fascinating, and I love a smart bitch, okay? I love a smart bitch. Let me know who you would like to see me style next, because you know there's more coming. This is like how I love to spend my time. I love you so much. Thanks for being here. I hope you finished your little drink, your little snack, and can carry on with your day or night. Ciao!